Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. There's a blame game swirling around when it comes to illegal immigrants. It's been revealed, by the government's own figures, that at least 1 in 10 of all new homes being built under Angela Rayner's Deputy Prime Ministership is going to illegal immigrants. They're not paying for them, of course. You are. But they are not going to British families who have, I would argue, a bigger need. Of course, the courts say not. The courts say that immigrants are more important than the British. So if you're a British family desperately looking, I suppose, for a place to live, tough. All you've got to do is get across to France, get on a rubber boat, in you come, pretend you can't speak English, and bang, you'll have a house. Seems to be the way. And it's not me saying that. It is the court. The court has said that they have more rights. Now, the Tories are accusing Keir Starmer of presiding over an asylum disaster and a housing catastrophe. Both of these things, of course, are completely true. However, we can't blame Labour entirely. The Tories had 14 years in which to shut the border and strangely didn't. But, and this is where the blame game starts, the government is now starting to attack the councils. It's saying to all these councils who are launching appeals about migrant hotels, don't do this. You're contributing to the housing crisis. No, it's not the councils, is it? It's not the councils that are doing this. It's subsequent governments, a whole series of governments who have failed to shut the borders, who failed to put the Navy up there pushing the boats back, who failed to arrest illegal immigrants, put them on a plane and send them back to whatever place they came. That's who's to blame for the housing crisis. It's got nothing to do with the councils. And of course the councils know there's a lot of council elections coming up next year. And if they aren't seen to be doing something about illegal immigrants, all these councillors who like to grow fat and sleek on public money will suddenly find themselves unemployed. And so they're now starting to run with it. They've seen what's happening. They've read the room. Their minds have been concentrated wonderfully at the prospect of poverty and unemployment. And so they're doing it. And this is Labour's failure now, because they can close the border tomorrow, but are choosing not to. And so, yes, the Tories have a part to play, especially the near 30,000 Afghanis that they brought in at £7 billion and then put the super injunction over. Let's never, ever forget that. That's why you can't trust the Tories. They had to put a super injunction on it because even they were ashamed of what they were doing. But right this moment, it's Labour's fault they still keep coming. It's Labour's fault that you can't get a house in the UK. Now, the Home Office has vowed to move asylum seekers out of hotels. They say they'll have done it by the end of the Parliament. When asked where are they putting them, they haven't got an effing clue. They literally don't know. Now, the plan is they're going to go around and buy houses. So, anyone who's selling a house can go, well, you're offering me £240, £240,000 for a house. Serco are going to offer me £300,000. So what happens? House prices rise. All those people looking for a house aren't going to get one because all the cheap houses are going to be bought up by the government to shove illegal immigrants in, that you're going to pay for the house and for the keep of the illegal immigrants. And you're never, ever going to get a cheap house because there won't be any. This is genius, isn't it? It's almost as though the government hasn't got a clue what it's doing. Or more and worse, it does. And it's doing it deliberately. And I'm more inclined to think now it's doing it deliberately. On a side note to that, what's going to make things even harder to get a house is that the genius of number 11 has said, we're coming after the banks with a windfall tax. They're making too much money. Well, on the news of that, bank shares fell, depending on the bank, between 5 and 7%. Well, you think, so what? Well, here's the thing. Thanks to laws brought in after 2008 by the last Labour government, banks can only lend up to a certain percentage of the value of the bank. And now that the shares have fallen, the banks aren't worth as much, which means they can't lend as much. Now, that won't affect outstanding loans, but it does mean that a lot more future loans are going to be much, much harder to get. And interest rates the banks charge will have to go up. And if you can't get a mortgage now, you ain't getting a mortgage. And it's not just house buying, it's businesses looking for finance to grow. It's everything. Banks will not be able to lend. It'll be illegal for them to lend because of the genius of number 11. This is why people who vote Labour need to be considered mentally unstable, because this happens every single time. Every single time a Labour government comes in, the economy is screwed. It isn't just once or twice or unlucky. It's every single time. There has not been one Labour government gone out of office with the economy better than when they came in. But this lot is the worst ever. And they're only at, 14 months in? What the hell are they going to do for an encore? And wait till October. Wait until they're doubling the tax load that they put in the last election and said it's the last time they're coming. They're going to go out this time and look for double that. And now they're coming after the profit of your house. They're going to be taxing you higher for your income, for your VAT, everything. Fuel bills are going up. Wait till you see food. Food bills are going to go through the roof. Already sitting around 6% inflation. Food is likely to go up by 25% because the run on the pound has already started. And because Fartface likes to close down all the fields and all the farms so he can put big windmills and solar farms on it, we have to buy in increasingly more food. With the pound worth less, that makes that food much more expensive. And so when children are getting malnourished because there is literally not enough money, when the economy completely collapses, when everybody is jobless, then this government will have done its job. You'll all be living in 15-minute cities, eating your bug burgers, which, as I reported earlier, Miliband is already putting the legislation through for. He wants to tax meat out of the cost for most people. Not him, of course. He'll still eat his bacon sandwiches and fillet steak. But, the normies, oh no, you're getting your bug burgers and you're going to like it. And you'll have no money. You'll get a basic income. You'll live in your 15-minute cities. You won't be allowed a car. God, no. And you'll have to have a permit to leave Area 15. We are going into the Hunger Games here, people. And if you don't see it, you need to wise up, wake up, and we might need to do something about it. But the way it's going with this government, it's frightening. Think on. Thanks very much. Bye. Oh, and one last thing. Please, if you've got this far in the video, please hit the subscribe button. I meant to say this. We're getting so close to the 100,000, I can smell it. So do please help the channel out. Hit that button, and we can move on. Again, thank you very much, and goodbye.